He's going to come and speak to us on the power of culture. He himself is such a positive example of immigration and assimilation into this country. Ms. Park is the CEO of General Building Maintenance and has had such marvelous success in that. But the reason he can connect with us so well is because of his commitment to volunteerism. Been successful in so many ways. Come, Mr. Sonny, speak to us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lamar called me, I think it was a late April, to make sure that I come. And I'm here. And I thank you very much for all the volunteers, the leadership, for this leadership, senior leadership for that, and particularly all the students. You will volunteer that 9 long month training with the senior leadership, and thank you. Excuse me. It's going over, but I had a little weather. The reason, this is my 4th appearance, so you're new to me, but I am pretty familiar with this good leadership. Before I start my slide, I want to talk about the thing we have, the Gwinnett County. We'll talk more intelligently, but that we are in the community with a lot of Asians. The majority of the Asians are Koreans. A lot of people think I'm a Korean, but I am not a Korean. I am American of Korean heritage. That's a big difference of Korean or Japanese or Chinese. I didn't born here, but this is my son. That's my son, and we got married about 2.5 years ago, and then married to a girl from Traverse City, Michigan. And then 9 weeks before, Noah was born. So people think he's a Korean and she is American. Who is she? Who is he? Noah. He's all American. America was built like an American art. I like the American way better. A lot of immigrants come in and making this country great. All kids. I asked Carrie, so how many kids you want to have? She said, 1 more. No, you 2 gotta make more than 2. So this country needs more people. Because we need the labor. I run the janitorial service company. We need a lot of people to clean bathrooms. So that is a big difference. The Koreans, Japanese, American. A lot of it, I come to mainstream community like this and talk about the Asian American community, but when I go to Asian American community, I talk reverse. So make sure, why did you come here? What for? Enjoy a better life. It is this country. You're not dumb. You are smart enough to know that America is a better country than the country where you came from. That's the reason you moved. If it wasn't good enough, you wouldn't come here to begin with. So, make it better. So 100 years later, 200 years later, America is still the land of opportunity. Everybody in the world wants to come live here. That's what we want to make. We have a responsibility. Will you come here and enjoy what we have? Well, it didn't drop from the sky. Somebody, over 200 years, the founding fathers, through all the hard-working Americans, create what it is today. And then we are here to enjoy and improve and restore the value that we have. I'm not sure how many of you heard of the Korean War. There was a war in the country way far east. So nobody knows. No American people knew about the country. small country, but a lot of people. And then war began. The communists attacked the South. Small country, smaller than Georgia. The half down in the middle, called 38 parallel. And then like a Macon, Georgia. So people roam, and the people in Savannah, they killing each other. Imagine that. That happened in South Korea. Ideology. It's go crazy. It's a North Korea attack, and this is people crossing over the bridge for freedom. This is a scene that during the Korean War. So I thought this is important. Why I'm showing this? Because during the Korean War, this was Seoul City. It was a nice city with 280,000 people. Like that. Everybody freed out. You saw the bridge, people climb over the bridge. I was 8 years old. I walked 3 days and 3 nights. 8 years old baby. My mother, the strongest person in the whole world. She had a rice on her head. She had clothing things in her bag. And then I was to sit down and not crying, and I'm not gonna walk anymore. She put me, 8-year-old baby is big, heavy, put him on her top of the shoulder and walk 3 days. That's my mom, strongest person in the whole world. Uh-oh.
I took it down, I'm trying to get you
Okay.
your video.
Oh, thank you. Can you get that? So, talk about my mom, you know, wow, this is during the Korean War, and then I'm only a child. There you go. Can you hear? Yeah. I apologize that I'm not prepared for the speaker and all. I'll send you the link so you can watch it with others at home.
Statistically, most people on Earth are apes. So we have small, skinny guys, but everyone else kind of weird.
Okay.
We can't stop it now.
I don't want it.
Want me to stop it? That's the funny part.
Short, we got shorter. That's just the way it is. Think y'all ain't got a small TV? I don't think so. Listen, guys, stereotypes are never going to end. So 200 years from now, it's all mixing some color, brown and beige. The important thing to remember is whether stereotypes seem more true than not or more not true than true, you don't have to let them control.
Okay, I think that's good enough. Thank you for trying. She never gave up. I appreciate it. So this is one of those video that I'd like to share that, and thank you very much for your help. And
I didn't get your slides back.
there you go. Now
I'm not sure
There you go.
how far you were.
thank you. Okay. So this is the scene of a Korean War, during the Korean War, after Korean War. It's a devastating, there's nothing around. And then the next slide shows American people send the soldiers, the life, real people, to South Korea. They never heard. Young men all over South Korea, altogether over 1 million American soldiers came to South Korea, and they fought for South Korean people against communists. Every one of them, a husband of somebody, a brother of somebody. Over 37,518 soldiers, American soldiers, along with 740 Georgians died in Korean War in action. And then so many people got hurt, over 53,000 people, American soldiers died in Korean War. That's not it. So because of that, they restore freedom and life. I'm one of them. And so many people. Now South Korea has 50 million people, over 50 million people. So that's history. Now, this is another thing. We're hungry. The war is over. Communists are gone. We gotta eat every day. And then what happened? American people sent flour, sugar, milk, and clothing to help us. That's what happened. These are the people felt. This is how cold it was, the bitter cold, minus 30. You can imagine what minus 30 is like. It's frozen. It's like when soldiers go to foxhole, watch for the communists to attack them. And then, in the morning, all body frozen. The patrol goes out to the field, walk around to check the soldiers. None of them move. Only eyeballs moving. All body is frozen. That's how cold it was in North Korea. I don't mean to bring all this. It's the scene of the picture, but it's the cost, the price for the freedom, and I saw it. It's so precious, and people do not, including Koreans and young Koreans, do not even realize how the freedom. These are the people. This is a Washington the mall as a Korean War Veterans Memorial, and I was a part of the committee to erecting this memorial in Washington D.C. with helping with General Lee. Proud that more than half of the money directing this memorial came from Korea. So it's unforgettable thing. Now, what happened? This is Korea today. So this is like this. American people should know. Why are we messing with all the other countries? I'm one of them. I pay taxes. I don't want my tax money goes to help us strangers. But if it's a good investment, I'm a merchant. If it's a good investment, I don't mind to do it. I think I'm biased, as you think, but as an American, I think it was a good investment. The Korea, we killed over 53,000 Americans in that war, and however, the return is huge. The Pacific Ocean is no longer Pacific Ocean to us, it's Pacific Lake. It's our land, our lake. Japan, all around the Taiwan and Korea. So our power goes all the way to the Far East. And that's what we got. That's the real fact. Now, the South Korea, this is Seoul City. Seoul City has a 15 million people. About 1/3 of the South, about 28% of the South Koreans living in Seoul City. They're a huge city. And this was nothing here before you saw the other picture. So that's what we Americans did. And this is the little memorial in downtown, the state capitol. It engraved the names of 740 Georgians I mentioned earlier, they killed in Korean War. And we saw that Korean Americans, the living Americans of Korean ancestry I mentioned earlier, they raised the money and then erect that memorial at the state capitol. Economy in the South. So now, you know, we helped them. So what happened there? Okay, it's I don't want to take too much time here, but the fact that population is about 52 million now, the 2015, and density is the highest, one of the highest density in the world. The country is smaller than Georgia. And then about 70% land is a terrain, is on mountains, the rocky, so people can live there. So about 30% land, the 52 million people have to live in a flat area. So it's pretty much, there's a limited job. So people, young people, when they grow up, it's a competition. I have to fight with them, compete against my friend and my own brother for a job. So that's pretty much what that is. So we're very industrialized and competitive as the South Korea. Working 16 hours a day, working 6 days a week is a normal. It's really. You go to Korea and then you see that high school kids going to the subway train and the city bus, going to school 6 in the morning. You will see them same students coming back home 10 o'clock at night. They put more into it. And my kid, wait until 7, you know, and the school bus coming, is walking out, and then get on, and at 3 o'clock come home. I said, what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna play football. I said, do something else too, you know. I served at the Georgia Ports Authority that with Savannah, they're working out around the world, trying to bring more cargo to Georgia so we can create more jobs. And I'm very proud to be part of that effort. Thing is, when I go to China, I always try to go to a high school classroom, sitting down like this, and sit down in the back, you know. I'm not here to complain about that, but anyway, this is that important. GDP per capita, 31,000. 1960, this country GDP per capita was $86. 60 to 2012. This country became one of the 14th largest economy in the world. So what I'm saying is, we plant a tree, the tree growing up, and a lot of fruits come down, I feel good. America did such a wonderful, the historical job in South Korea. And then they become the top in the world, the shipbuilding, semiconductor, cell phone, and the other stuff, the steel, mill, is the best in the world. Now, the difference, communism versus democracy. See, this is a satellite map at night. This is North Korea. There's a dot here, this is the capital, Pyongyang, and this is South Korea. And Busan here, Seoul City, right here in China, the peninsula, the Chengdu Peninsula comes out right here. This is out here in Japan. So this is a big difference of the market economy and the communism. What is Korea to U.S.? I mentioned a little bit earlier, 60 plus years of strong ally, fought in Vietnam War with the U.S. troops. The Korea, again I'm biased, but Korea is the only country that I know, as an American, we help so many countries in the world. We send the money, we send the heart, love, care, and all the time, so many people. We should be very proud. However, how many countries among them turn around to bow to us? Thank you very much, Americans. Not many. Americans should learn something from that. Korea, I'm biased. Korea, they still teaching in a classroom. The elementary school kids learn. The picture I shared earlier, this is how it happened. The picture, if American people didn't help, it would have been like this. But Americans help. So that is the country, the people in South Korea. When U.S. in trouble, U.S. military in trouble, Vietnam, what happened? South Korea was the first country sent 12,000 soldiers out there in Vietnam, fought side by side with the U.S. troops is out there. And Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're still out there. And teaching students about the relationship with the United States. And one of the U.S. largest customers, the top 5 customers. So to make sure, when Korea was poor, they didn't make a good product, but still American government put the top, whatever they call the tax-free status. So the cheaper, the American Korean-made goods was cheaper to sell in the U.S. So it was much more advantageous to sell in the U.S. And one of the U.S. largest investors, and 2.1 million Korean Americans living here. I talked about Americans of a Korean ancestry. Now, South Koreans answer the U.S. call, as I said earlier. This is Vietnam. This is at the harbor, at the port, it's shipping. All these troops, Korean troops, they go to Vietnam, Saigon, and places like that, and then follow side by side with the U.S. troops. And this is what happened. The South Koreans is out there. Okay, now we're going to come to realistic. What time is it now? The Korean Americans are Americans. I talked about earlier. There are about over 12,000, about 11,000, or close to 12,000 Americans of a Korean ancestry in U.S. military today. It's a fraction, but we're only 5%. Asian Americans are 5% of the U.S. population. But we take over about 11% of U.S. military. And we, the organization I'm involved, and by the way, we have another volunteer in the back, Mr. Song-gu Hong, right there, videotaping this. We try to introduce this class to the Asian American community, and he's here with us. Anyway, we award this young man and this young man award. New American Hero Award only early October this year. And Jason Pack was a captain, the West Point graduate, and went to Afghanistan, lost two legs and 2 fingers. And then rehab at the Walter Reed Hospital. And then it took him 45 days to start walking. And then he came down and visited us. We play golf together. He's President Obama's golf partner, a frequent golf partner. in a sense. Yeah. So Jason Pack is an American. He was born in the U.S. Still have Asian face, but American. And then James Hall is a Navy SEAL, and got all this Delta team at the Navy SEAL that got killed. The helicopter got shot down in Afghanistan, and all of them died. That was about 60 years ago, and his statue is in California. And he was born in Florida. He went to Florida State, and then and got killed. There are over 11,000, close to 12,000 Korean American soldiers in the U.S. military right now. I thought I'm very proud to introduce this man. Here is Daniel Yu, Brigadier General Yu. He is, I don't know, any Marine here? U.S. Marine? The most recognized brave unit in the world is the first U.S. Marine Corps Division in Pendleton, California, what I heard. And he's commanding general. He's a Korean American, right here. And these two guys here, they're the shipping. One is John McCain, USS John McCain, the other was the U.S. Chappie. And they are running the ship with the whole crew there as a U.S. Navy. So, they don't look like American, but they're American. Now, this is me. Some people think I was stupid, but this is what I did. When I landed in the United States the first time, 1974, I made up my mind. I'm not campaigning for anything. I'm not running for office. First thing I did was I want to be some good American. What is a good American? Those Americans outside during the war. I met American first time while I was 8 years old. Who they are to me? They are brave, so brave. They look different, but they come to Korea, and fought for my freedom. And then later they sent me warm clothes, something to eat, or church groups, your grandmothers. Church groups sent them clothes, food, and a pencil. Pencil, the number 2 pencil, I still remember. We didn't have a pencil. We got such a short, too short to write, can't hold. So we had to wrap around the chopstick. We didn't have a notebook. So we had to write in between the lines of a newspaper. Can you imagine? We did. We're still trying to study. And all of a sudden, one day I went to school, at my desk, there was not only one pencil, but yellow. The cedar smelled so good, the cedar smell. Doesn't. The yellow number 2 pencil was right there. Grab it. Oh, we were so dancing. There's a notebook, 2 notebooks. The brand new white paper. There's, I can write it. Okay. Ever since then, I have a habit to write small, so I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste the paper. Really. That's American. Generous American. Brave American, the soldiers I met, and the generous American I met. I want to be a good American. Number 1 thing I did, memorize national anthem. Oh, say, can you see? Don't get up, that's okay. It's not easy for a foreigner, that come in here and trying to be American. And then the day I swore into American citizen, there's the Daughters of American Revolution, the lady brings a little flag and the Constitution, and I walk out the courthouse and I swore. I said, I'll be the best American this country has. If not, one of the best. Let's see. So, what can I do? I'm a merchant. So how can I prove that I'm one of the best Americans? pay a lot of tax. I'm a merchant. My job is to make money. I'm gonna make a lot of money in this land of opportunity, nowhere else. And I'm gonna pay a minimum $1 million tax every year. I made a decision. That time, when I was making that determined I will be the $1 million taxpayer, I was making $17,000 a year. But God help me, I'll tell you, I am paying $1 million tax a year. See, it took me 17 years to get up there. There's nowhere else in the world that I know can be like that, can make that like that. So, what am I talking about? We're American. We fight like a Daniel Yu, division commander for 1st Marine Corps Division. And a lot of Americans, I'm one of them. I know so many people in Gwinnett County that are Korean Americans paying a lot of tax. I'm proud of them. They work hard. They don't spend a lot of money. And you know the stereotype. They don't go drink bars and no, you don't see them. You see the Asian Americans over at with making money, not the spending money, right? So they make money, they spend it, and then they pay a lot of tax. So I'm one of them, and there's so many of them. That's who we are. So one of the stereotypes, it's not stereotype. Generally, they study harder. They pay more attention to the students, their own children, the education. Gwinnett County that has the largest Korean American Asian American population in any other counties, and in the 14th largest in the country. And concentration of Asian American, and particularly the Korean Americans. Now, Korean Americans are patriotic Americans, serving at you. This is high school dropouts at Savannah and the Fort Gordon, and these kids are so pleasant, so brilliant kids, but they got the wrong track, and then I don't want to go to school. Why? The National Guard, I'm a National Board member, National Guard, they bring them into the one camp, in the boot camp, and they keep them 6 months, and then straight them up. That's what we do. We serve them. You see that? It's all Korean food. We go out there serve them, and this kid, they love it. And then what we do, we feed them and say, now, you copy something we did. Work 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, don't whine, keep doing it. Read book. We stimulate them. Actually, it works. We've been doing it over 11 years, and they're working out great. So, we send the pencil, number 2 pencil, and all the school supplies to Iraq. When the Iraq was, we were war after Afghanistan, we've been sending a lot of school supplies out there, and hopefully, there's a lot of sunny parks. We go create a lot of sunny park in Iraq and Afghanistan. We keep trying. And then the fact, keep back the Asian Americans. This is the 2012 data. 74% of Asian American adults 18 are foreign born. 1 in 2, 53%, Asian immigrants adults 18 plus say they speak English very well. Americans' median family, the wealth. It's anybody involved in the business. This is a great market. That we keep the Asian American in Gwinnett County and let them spend money in Gwinnett County. They got a lot of money. They work hard. They say they don't spend, so they got a lot of money. They're gonna have to spend in Gwinnett County. So this is the thing that look at here. The whites, the growth rate here, 1989 and 2013. Okay, it's 14 years after the growth rate is coming up. It's Asian American, Hispanic, and Black. Its growth rate is faster than any other ethnic group, including white. So they think they're gonna surpass the growth rate will surpass that any other the racial group. The thing is, Gwinnett County should make most of it. They got money, they're gonna spend it right here in Gwinnett County. In Asian Americans in Gwinnett County, population 93,500. That is a lot of people think they got about 120,000 Korean Americans in Gwinnett County, but I'm not really sure. The census shows only 53,000, and 26,700 household, and $1,600,000 households dollars is house spending. I mean, $1 billion, $1.6 billion spending, and the Asian American population grew by 58%, about 5 times the general population growth. Keep coming. Gwinnett County have good schools. Gwinnett County have a good environment. So they're smart. They go find a way to live a good place. That's who they are. And this is a little bonus. The Korean companies, obviously that's another country. They're not American companies, but they come in here and produce things and they create jobs. And then I tell you, there are none of these factories are in here, but the headquarters are here. The county money here in Gwinnett County. The Hyundai, one of the Hyundai Group companies here, and local, and all major companies, and the manufacturers in Korea. So that is a big plus. It's right here. It's not that far from it. It's a 2-mile radius, the headquarters. And the powerful Americans of Korean ancestry moved to U.S. with high hope, hardworking group, high scores in schools, generally, without my kids, not even my kids. No troubled neighbors. We're quiet, and sometimes you get the stereotype of a passive, but we're not passive. But we know that to kick the butt that would say anything, kind of thing. And the majority is self-employed. I say majority, but about 40% of the Asian Americans are self-employed. They run business. I serve I'm a board of director of a brand bank. You know brand bank? It's time for advertisement. And then the money transaction, the amount of money, the transaction is much larger than general American family. So, and then our self-employed, the contributing Americans, you saw the pictures of them. They're doing quietly. They're not doing good at the PR, so they just keep doing it. And isolate this community, this is a bad part, negative part, and then they build a little, they didn't build, this community in the community. So we appear to be as a separate community in the community. We shouldn't be. So I am doing a campaign called Good Neighboring Campaign. I started in 2000 and campaigning. And we do an American history class, Gwinnett County history class, national anthem class, Pledge of Allegiance. We print out millions and millions. This is a nationwide campaign. Millions and millions the little pocket card with American national anthem on one side and the Pledge of Allegiance on the other side. And then we send it out. And then the people, grandma, grandpa, they can read English, they can join when they go to event. They don't have to watch somebody singing, but they can join. They get the card out, join the singing together. Love this country. And unfamiliar with American custom. They're still uncomfortable. They are, but they're not confident. Now, consumer market, 1.7 million Korean American in the U.S., 52,000. This is census data. Much more than that, more than this number, but 52,500. That's the census data. So right here, Gwinnett County, with the dark Korean. There's a lot of them out there in Southern California, and a lot of them in the New York, Washington area. The Gwinnett County is right here. It's pretty big. And 2012 annual Asian American household spending. This is important. Asian Americans, there's a lot of money that they're spending. So if you want, you can have this the slides with you, and then this is a data. By 2017, the buying power of Korean the Asian American community will be $1 trillion by Nielsen Media. It's a big deal. Now, values Americans, Asian American bring to Gwinnett County, Georgia: good work ethic, educational value, respectful elders and others. Again, except my kid. And respectful culture. And I'll leave a few blanks here. What else they bring in? What else Asian Americans bring to the community?
Diversity.
Diversity, money, absolutely. Opportunity, lots of opportunity there. So you come into Gwinnett senior leadership, you take away with the so valuable community in the community. The Korean Americans are all valuable, integral part of Gwinnett County. That is a power we have. Gwinnett is one of the most diverse communities in the U.S. Thus, Gwinnett and Georgia gets most of valuable ethnic American communities. If not, why? Un-American, uncomfortable, either use the given opportunity or lose. That's the thing. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting ready to move into a community that's got probably 25 to 50% Asian. And you talked about good neighbors and uncomfortable with customs. What's the icebreaker? How, taking an apple pie, is that kind of, what do you recommend? How do you?
I didn't get that. Good.
You talked about Asians are good neighbors.
Right.
But they're also uncomfortable with American culture.
Right.
Or customs.
Right.
So what would you, I mean, if I'm going over to Bob's house, I know how to break the ice.
Uh-huh.
How do I break the ice?
Well,
Somebody to-
anything you're comfortable is acceptable. You don't just be nature. But Koreans are very particular. I'm one of them. And we are very familiar with the Korean. Anyone know kimchi here? It's a rotten cabbage, but I love it. Yeah, so when you ice break, you go out you want to go to Korean and apple pie, it'd be great. I mean, whatever you like, that's what I recommend you to get. That's a great question.
Do you want me walking on their yard, just shake their hand and knock on the door, or don't walk on it, you know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
See, that is not, they should, the Asian Americans should go to knock on the door, I'm here, and blah, blah, blah. And then they're not comfortable. They don't want to show, I'm generalizing. I don't want to show my poor English skill. Or, you know, when you ask me a question, I don't understand, and I don't want to be like a dumb. I mean, that kind of thing. It's not clear, or whatever you call. And so, I'd rather not doing anything, you know. But you come in and knock on the door, they have no choice. They got to talk to you. Yes, sir.
South Korea appears to be very vulnerable to attack. Do you think it's likely North Korea is going to attack, and can the U.S. respond in time?
I think, I don't know the answer. My gut feeling, I mean, this is known fact that the U.S. and Korea had a treaty, so defend each other. When U.S. attacked, that's the Vietnam the war we joined, that's under the treaty. And the U.S. must help by treaty when South Korea in danger from outside attack. And still the Korean war is still in effect. They're just resting. That's it. 63 years. That's what it is. North Korea are not capable, what I heard, incapable to attack the South. So they just playing game. You heard this time to time, every 6 months or every 9 months, and they all the bombarded. Oh, we're gonna come down. But every time doing that, more U.S. companies are investing in South Korea. It's only 30 miles south, the Seoul city, the way the 15 million people live. It's only 30 miles from the border. That it's not border, DMZ. That North Korea is right there. Is one of the big howitzer that the gun shoot from North Korean border. It will land in Seoul city. It's a 15 million people. So I don't think they will do that. Hope I'm right. But if they ever done it, and then they will be demonstrated. North Korea will be wiped out. I hope not. Yes, sir.
My grandson is 10 miles from, serving in the Army, 10 miles from the DMZ right now.
Thank you very much.
And one of the things, I mean, we have the capability of really knowing what's going on before it happens. They're very good at keeping track of what's going on. And so I think South Korea is quite protected by the U.S. Army as well as the Korean Army. The second thing I wanted to mention was that my grandson graduated from North Gwinnett High School, and when he went to South Korea, he already knew so much about Korea because all his friends are Korean. And he goes and he knows something about the food and the culture, and it's so
kimchi?
So it is, he's not uncomfortable to walk into the village, go up the stairs to a little restaurant and say hello to the people. It's just a wonderful.
That's a true testimony that I already talked about the elementary school. They teach kids what American people did. They don't know. I mean, they born in 1980, 1990. They don't know what was happening. They have to be educated, and that's what Korean government do. Any other country that I know, even including Japan, they don't do. Teach the kids what American. We are. You can think about it. This country is so particular. Little peninsula out of a big superpowers, very tiny small country, out of Russia, China, Japan, United States. These big guys attack the South Korea all the time, bother all the time. In fact, the last 5,000 years of Korean, South Korean history, the superpowers invaded South Korea over 950 times. But Korea lost a lot of fight, but never lost a war. That's what they proud. My father was very proud to me. He said, we got a lot of invade. They invaded us a lot, but we never lost a war. What do you mean? They come in and they took away all the stuff and they steal everything and then robbed everything. And then you tell me we won the war? Because they compromising, We have no power to defend them, but they couldn't steal our heart and the culture. So Korea, South Korea is one of the very few countries that I know has maintained the old heritage. We serve, my mom, I say giver here. My mother was a giver, and we don't have time to talk about my mom. You'll go to 2 days. Not only my mother, so many Korean people. During the war they have no food. Last scoop of rice, last scoop. I mean, you don't have anything for tomorrow or the next meal, and then you got the 3 people to eat at this much. So you put a lot of water, boil, and put a lot of salt and eat. And the strangers show up, you will share half of it. It's a culture. So the American soldiers go to Korea. They are all welcome. They're already educated. They are people who save our country. The ancestry from the brutal war. So I'm very proud of that they are not forgetting. Yes, ma'am.
So is there cultural differences between people?
Let me get closer. I got the hearing problem, English problem.
So are there cultural differences between people in North and South Korea? And what was it that determined where that line was? And do you think North Korea will ever be free?
Oh, I don't know that question. The second question, North Korea will be free. I wish they are. They're innocent people, just like me and you. They all have the same desire, the happy life, but they're not happy. They think what they have is happy. It's so sad. But only few be handful. Less than 200 people control the country, making 20 million people just brutal hell. I hate that. You know, I hate to see this watching and going on. We send the money, we send the food stuff, and they go to military, feed the military, make stronger military, and they even sell to the other country. They buy yacht, nice luxury yacht for the leader. You know, it's crazy. I wasn't there. What I'm saying is I read in papers. That's what it is. The culture different. It's very interesting. The South Korea, a lot of North Koreans flee. They escape out of it, and they come to South Korea, and they can't talk because the culture is so much different. It's not going to be that much. So it is the known fact that now South Korea is a worry. If we united, they ever unified, and then what about the culture issue?
We're so well connected, not just in the Gwinnett community, in the state, and at a national level, it seems. How and why did that happen? And I don't know, you take such pride, more pride than our own children take in this country. How is that shared between communities? What do you think? I think people love each other.
I agree, Carol, that I came to this country. Nobody pushed me to go to U.S. I volunteered. I signed up my application, visa application. I signed up for my citizenship application. I'm the one who want to be in this country. I just don't want to be just nobody, one of those. And then I become somebody. And then what is that for? I think it's how to educate the kids. There's always consequences that you have something. That means you have to make most of it, use it, utilize it. If I'm a singer, the previous speaker had an Elvis Presley, you know, the picture. If I'm a good singer like Elvis Presley, would I be in the closet and do nothing? I gotta go to stages and entertain the people, right? With all that, lighting, clothes, and if you're a soprano, time's up.
No, I wanted you to tell them the story about getting the job interview before you ever left the airport.
Oh, the job?
Yes.
I'll do that. No, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, no lunch today. So we're going to continue on. It is to make the most of it. You go to school and teach. Learn something. What's that for? You got a PhD. Sitting at home, do nothing? No. You come to a senior grade leadership, you spend 9 months of time and learn something. What's that for? Make the most of it. So, I'm a merchant. Don't get me wrong, don't laugh at me. You know, I was so poor. When I moved here in 1978 from Indiana to Georgia. I live in the apartment, $120 per month. I was selling life insurance. That's another story. However, that time, my wife died. When the boy, Jimmy, was born, 3 months later, at Georgia Baptist Hospital, he was born. And then 3 months later, his mom died. And I had a 4-year-old daughter, that time Kathy. She is working for New York Times now. So I had an infant baby and a 4-year-old daughter. I was making $17,000 a year. Well, it's very nice. And about $10,000, about $900 per month home. I pay $120 for rent, buy global food, and got a 2 babysitter. I had to run 2 jobs, running around. But I never lose hope. I'm gonna be somebody special. And then my kids saw that. What I'm trying to say is everything have a reason for it. So I'm a merchant. I make a good money. I mean, good money for my standard. And then more than what I have, it's actually a responsibility to spend that money. Merchants making a lot of mistakes by the money they're making is theirs. I'm not saying I'm right, I could be wrong too. But if I'm a singer like Elvis Presley, the singing capacity, people enjoy my singing, that is talent. I'm not gonna use it. And then as a merchant, the money I make is like Elvis Presley's a singing talent. You see what I'm trying to say? So it is a lot of times a burden. Spending money a lot of times is hard. This money, I don't want to spoil anybody. I don't want to give it out like a Santa Claus and all that. No. So that's what it was. And before the lunch, and I'd like to share a short story, but it may be interesting. I came to the United States in 1974, September 5. I landed at O'Hare International Airport, Chicago, and then switched the airplane to smaller plane to go to Indianapolis. That's only a short flight, a 30 minutes flight. And then got in the Allegheny airline. I'm not sure you ever heard of that. Allegheny is the box airplane. Got in there, there's another gentleman sitting next to me. We sit together. He's a big guy and I'm small. And then I got there and they sit down and then I do nothing. I just, the first day in the United States. And then he finished the read. We didn't talk. He finished the read newspaper. He handed it over to me and it sounds like, you want to read? I'm through. You want to read? And I took it, thank you. And I took it and I started reading. I had trouble to speak, but I can read. I studied in school. And I get through and they go to the last pages. There's a help wanted of the job postings. I looked at it, read it through and all that, and I found one job. It was a steakhouse in Indianapolis they're looking for. That's the Indianapolis Star, the Indianapolis paper anyway, by the way. So I take that off. Curtis Steakhouse, 82nd Street and north of Indianapolis. They're looking for a cleaner, kitchen cleaner. Okay, I can do that. I put that in there, and I got off the airplane, and then there are people that bring my bag. Before they bring my bag out to the carousel, and I went to pay for it. I write down what I want to say, and then I call their number, Curtis Steakhouse. And sir, I am Sonny Park. I just got off the airplane, and that's my first day. I'm looking for a job. You are looking for a cleaner. Is the job still available? And he said, the other end of the telephone said, yeah, that we're still open. The job is still open. Okay, can I come by and apply for the job? He said, sure. I said, when can I come? Anytime you want. Can I come by now? I said, sure. Hang up. There's an address there in the ad. Grab my bag, went to carousel, grab my back, went outside, yellow cab, put it there, and show them the address to the cab driver, head out there. I had $200 in my pocket. That's all I had. Went there, interviewed, found the job. He gave me the job. So when can I start? He said, Don Seaver, when you want to start? I want to start anytime. Now. He goes, not now, we gotta work, but the kitchen will close at 11 o'clock tonight. Come back at 11. I don't have place to sleep. Oh, we'll get you the hotel room there, next door. Found me a hotel room and a job. They're paying $1.80 an hour. That's a lot of money. So that's what Lamar was impressed, I think, was that this is a land of opportunity. I want this country to continue to be that good. 100 years later, 200 years later, I want the people to, all over the world, the people wants to come, still want to live in this country. You know, that's the thing. However, there's a lot of conditions. And so, you know, it took me 2 years to get grant. The U.S. government granted me my visa. They checked my x-ray, my background. If I'm not healthy, I wouldn't be here. So one time I was so proud to be immigrant because we're clean people. Really. Even my x-rays. Good thing they didn't check my intestine, you know. Anyway, God bless you all. Merry Christmas. And thank you for the leadership.